Hi, welcome to She Spice. While we as a whole suspected the residue had chosen the entirety of the Kendrick versus Drake show, Cool J just couldn't avoid putting his two pennies in general colonizer or associate discussion. Presently, you're presumably asking why in the world is Cool J engaging in this hamburger? Well, in case you didn't realize, LL is the pioneer who set out the plan for Drake's entire shtick blending WAP in with R&B. Once upon a time, LL was the ruler of mixing sincere R&B energies with hard-hitting rap bars, and LL himself said that he accepts he made ready for Drake's ascent to the top. So what precisely did LL say regarding Drake's competition with Kendrick and the entire culture vulture discussion? We should separate it. Who's the go correct now? Drake or Kendrick? Well, you are discussing the fight. Yes, I mean Kendrick won the fight. Come on, I imply that is clear. I imply that is an easy decision. How LL made Drake back in 1984, Cool J was the absolute first craftsman to be endorsed by DeJam, and his presentation single, I Really Wanna Beat, was the track that assisted D with sticking score a circulation bargain with Columbia, and that's what you assumed was the pinnacle. Reconsider. L's introduction collection Radio dropped in 1985, and it wasn't simply any collection. It was the very first undertaking delivered by DeJam, and we should not fail to remember Cool J didn't simply stop at being a music symbol. He's the virtuoso who promoted the term goose, or best in hip bounce, with more than 13 million records sold. And recall, that is generally from the pre-streaming time LL hardened his status as a whiz. It's the remainder of the red-hot cherishing MCs searching for a bit. That is my hypothesis. Women love long hearts also. Lean, and presently you understand what LL means. I don't when I find you. I'm for all my love inside. I really want love. Anyone needs to come up here with me. Everyone needs love. Just suckers are terrified to adore. LL additionally gathered up various honors during his profession in 2017. He left a mark on the world as the first rapper to, at any point, get the renowned Kennedy Center distinctions. And in 2012, LOL's enlisted into the wild corridor of popularity, and despite the fact that LL hasn't dropped any new tracks starting around 2013, his impact hasn't been neglected, and numerous rap symbols transparently concede they owe a ton to LL. Cool J is hot as damnation. You definitely better believe it. So what does LL, truth be told, stand for? Women love living huge, licking lips. Well, I'm here since I, for one, think it represents a living legend. Do you recall a story you educated me concerning leaving Passing Jam? You were the main craftsman on Death Jam. You recorded the entirety of this music and conveyed these collections. Then, at that point, quick forward to this. Your arrangement is up, and you let me know you were truly expecting an extremely high dope keepsake, right? Do you recall what you let me know? You got a modest observe right now. I suppose you know what time it is, right? I mean, the people at Def Jam most likely might have improved their celebrating gift, yet they knew precisely the thing they were doing when they signed you as their absolute first entertainer. LL was 17 years of age when his introduction collection came out. It did not just put Passing Jam on the guide, yet it sent off a genius. LL Cool J gave us 13 studio collections over many years. What about that? He went from the sonic mercilessness of Mother, said thumping you out, to a luxurious polling form like I Want Love Right, and furthermore smooth R&B, and popping liquid melodies like Around the Way Young Lady doing it returning to Cali. I don't think so. You realize that all hip bounce terms are right. It's not where you're from, it's where you are. Right, where do you live at this point? California yet. While the rap legends have no issue giving props to LL, some of the present specialists, who are obviously composing his coattails, aren't showing him the love he merits. So we should discuss Drake C's. There's a strong contention that LL was the first diagram for Drake style in a 2020 meeting with Complex. LL focused on his 1987 hit, I Really Want Love, one of the primary rap tunes to go all delicate and touchy. He dished about the backfire he confronted when the track dropped, saying there was a great deal of grading at the time in those days. It was truly moderate, and if the energy wasn't testosterone like I'm punching you right in front of you, kicking the entryway down, you don't get a great deal of credit. LL told Complex in Hip Bounce, you just get brownie focuses for inventiveness inside certain boundaries when you attempt to go beyond that case on the off chance that it's whatever's not considered. 1000% road, you get no credit. LL was then approached to comment on the examinations among him and Drake. Furthermore, he immediately excused it, saying we're totally different specialists since I have a part of hard records and I'm extremely different yet. And that part of my profession, it cleared the way for folks like that. Now both LL, what's more, Drake has been blamed for going delicate or selling out as a result of their ladies' focus tunes. However, in contrast to Drake, LL never let those delicate remarks get under his skin. Rather, he embraced it when asked in a 2013 meeting to remark on I Want Love being a delicate melody. LL said, it's not delicate, it's reality. Love ain't delicate, it's simply a piece of life. So it seems like Drake ought to have taken a page from LL Cool J's playbook. However, rather than remaining consistent with the picture that shot him to fame, Drake let the pundits get to him out of nowhere. He began doing a lot, attempting to demonstrate he was extreme overcompensating, rapping about crowd ties, and attempting to sell this picture of being an insured road fella. And afterward, Drake made it a stride further and began contrasting himself with any semblance of Michael Jackson and proclaiming himself the GOAT of rap after Kendrick won the meet by a well-known vote. Drake chose to erase a few IG posts advancing his diss tracks against Kendrick, Counting Family Matters and The Heart Section 6. And afterward, he shared a few photographs of himself at his child Adonis soccer match with the subtitle Goats, don't stress over tired old acts, however, check whether you ask LL Cool J. There's one significant justification for why Drake can't be thought of as the GOAT, basically not by LL's meaning of the term GOAT banter. The abbreviation GOAT or absolute best is accepted to have its foundations in the hip jump scene of the 1990s, and it was LL Cool J who truly set it up for life with his 2000 collection named GOAT. In a meeting with Change, the game television, LL spilled the beans on how he thought of the term, furthermore, gave it its famous mouse status. LL said, I got the term from two individuals. First of all, Muhammad Ali clearly said he was the best ever. So I got it from Muhammad Ali, and afterward, there was a road athlete called Duke Manigault in any case. They call him the GOAT, so I just concluded that I plan to take GOAT furthermore, absolute best, and make an abbreviation. That is the point at which I dropped my collection in 2000. I called it GO8, highlighting the best I had no clue about, that it planned to turn out to be essential for the vocabulary. The term GOAT didn't simply remain inside the hip jump domain, it made a sprinkle in standard culture. It turned into a hot, trendy expression in sports circles, particularly via web-based entertainment fans and investigators. The same began calling the top competitors in their fields the GOAT, starting vast discussions and conversations about who really merits the title. Now, with regards to hip bounce GOATs, LL Cool J accepts the definition is really beautiful direct. You couldn't actually think about being in that association on the off chance that you don't compose your own verses. Could you at any point be thinking about a GOAT on the off chance that you didn't compose your verses? Goodness, man. Well, I mean, if you're going to go by the first principles, you can't affirm you understand what I'm talking about. If you will go by the first guidelines of hip jump, you totally can't affirm. You can be the most famous you can be, the most economically fruitful you can be, the meatest diagram clincher, yet you can't be viewed as you most likely are aware, the one like you know. Michael Jordan needs to play ball for Michael Jordan, better believe it. Realize he can't send LeBron out to play. And afterward, he sits on the seat and gets the focuses on his board. You know what I'm talking about. The focuses go to his details. You know I asked that is the similarity I've been requiring. Right there, that is the similarity I've been requiring you. Understand what I mean, so you got to compose your old decision now. As you most likely realize, Drake has confronted phantom composing claims, essentially his entire vocation anyway. What's seemingly much more dreadful than utilizing apparition writers is Drake Linnell taking streams and bands from different craftsmen, like XXXTentacion or Enormous Draco. I was conversing with her at that point. What's more, she was like, pay attention to no. As a matter of fact, it was my dog, Chris. I was on the telephone with my canine Chris. He was like, you gotta pay attention to this doctor. Precisely what he said, this doctor. You got to pay attention to this, so he plays it. I hear him like, when it began. Like I realized he was getting at. And the amusing thing is, we didn't find the fan like you said the fans on the grounds, that they're so faction like it's like I got a piece of the web. You feel me? So they were saying that Drake was gnawing your style. That is what the fans were talking about. No doubt stream ream damnation. Definitely, brother. You could take his section as they did a pound up. They put his stanza on my melody furthermore. The rhythm is in a real sense right at a similar rhythm. Stop me like I'm showing Drake all that he knows. You showed Drake all hard Drake on his first tune. Let me know what's truly happening. Driz back in his thing currently. What's that? So that is my bar duplicate my me through the telephone. He duplicate my entire word for bar gracious. Don't behave like cause Drake to do that. Indeed, the way that Drake actually alludes to himself as GOAT is a strong continue on his part yet. What about the entire Culture Vulture account? How does the first Drake LL Cool J feel about that partner or colonizer? So with regards to that, subscribe She Spice for more videos.